Giannis Antetokounmpo, Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and Kevin Porter. That's your top 5 highest paid players, okay? And then you got Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent, Gary Harris, Torian Prince, Jericho Sims, AJ Green, and Amir Coffey, and then Cole Anthony, and then Thanasis, and Andre Jackson, their former first-round pick, who doesn't play. And they got another Antetokounmpo on the bench. Tell me, when you read through that roster, what roster? Matter of fact, you said Charlotte Mars. Is that a better roster than Charlotte?
That's not better than Charlotte.
Is that a better roster than the Kings? Do they got a better roster than the Kings?
Yes, they do.
No,
yes, they do.
They still don't. They
really might not, though. They really might not, though. Giannis better quit that loyalty gimmick because Jesus effing Christ. At least in 2022, Jokic still had Aaron Gordon, but my God, Giannis this year has me, my dog, and some car dealer's ashes as teammates. Zero hope in Milwaukee.
That's a stretch. But yeah, he's doing that play bad, play at 20% gimmick to not ask for the trade, but then to be palpably upset on the floor, so it doesn't look like he's happy, but also not ask for a trade.
He literally just
no. Before that. No, he was definitely.
Well, how do we not know he was managing something?
No, but he sure. I'll finish. I think he for sure has been managing some stuff, but definitely by his attitude, you can tell he is dejected. Would be the word that I would use. And then he got a calf injury at the end of the game, which then put him out self-reportedly for 4 to 6 weeks. That situation should have been done. Remember when we had this discussion the first time he hurt his calf, we said that should be the last game that he plays with the Bucks, and then he has since that point.
No, we didn't say that. You said that.
Yeah, sure. And then he since that point said that I am not in control of this. I will, basically can't ask for a trade. I have no control over where I go. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's over. The period's over. I put it on Twitter. I think it's ridiculous that Giannis is as good as he is, and yet he's played for an organization that 4 straight years now he's either out of the first round or not making the playoffs. And in the peak of his career, which I think is a travesty given the situation, given how good he is.
I think this calf.
Giannis went into that game not healthy, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
they asked him if he would have played if the Bucks weren't in this dire situation, and he said no. So Giannis wasn't Giannis on a gimmick to not try. Giannis went into the game.
Maybe I'll say he definitely played lethargic and has been, but maybe it's it could be because of injury as well, but just maybe attitude wise. Yeah,
and I think that's the.
I definitely see the body language stuff.
Yeah.
And would it be fair? Would it be fair? I think it's fair that the body language is because he's not healthy. A lot of Giannis's game is predicated on flight and athleticism. I mean, and Swiper, I'm not taking away from the fact that they're not very good. I'm not taking that away from him. However, Giannis's game, a lot of it is predicated on flight and athleticism, and the fact that he can't run fast and jump high like he would like due to this injury, I think it's contributing to his frustration. He
can also use his eyes and see what he's playing with. Doc Rivers.
Okay, I'm not this again. I
horrible.
am not.
Like he's also a horrible coach.
He's just saying there might be another factor outside of his team that is also why Giannis is upset. Which makes sense. If your body keeps failing you,
yeah,
that would be another reason to be annoyed. Alongside the fact that your team
fourth calf injury since 23.
They're adding up.
Yeah, they are.
But chill, Giannis is clearly that chick that just doesn't like her boyfriend anymore, but just walking around the house giving him dirty looks and cold shoulders and wearing big baggy sweaters and.
She think it could work. She think it could work out though.
Not showing no skin. No, she don't.
Yeah, she
think my thing is ain't got no draws in months.
My thing is don't get mad. Just get out.
Until she walking around with baggy clothes on.
They ain't showing no skin.
He can't even brush her teeth while she taking a shower. Get out.
Swipe. I ain't seen no. Unlike your workout video, Swipe. I ain't seen no thigh meeting.
I ain't seen no thigh in a minute.
Don't get mad. Just get out.
Yeah, I just distinctly remember, Chill. I'm not gonna let this go. You were just up in arms about that team before the year started, and that was fake win streak that they had. Mm-hmm. That team sucks. They have no physicality. They have no defenders. They're soft mentally. They're soft. They all don't want to be there because I think some of them are like. And I asked somebody about this in the media. Yep. He said one of the reasons the players are kind of dejected. They know Giannis is either unhappy and or out of the building, and so they're kind of playing for themselves to try to get another deal. Like, cause they don't know what's going to happen, next year. So they're just kind of out there playing basketball.
Sure.
That team is in dire dire straits. That looks like the worst team in basketball right now. And I'm not talking about from a talent standpoint. They feel like the worst team in basketball. Even the Pelicans did tonight. They put a whooping on the Spurs. Shout out Emisi, came off the bench with some great defensive possessions. Trey Murphy looked good. Zion looked really good. They at least will play with some heart. That team, though, for the Bucks, they have no draft picks. They have no blue chip athletes. They're in cap hell. Giannis wants out. Miles is their second best player. He can't do anything to rectify that situation. He's a role player at the very extreme. Ryan Rollins, that run that he had was cool or whatever, but he's not a great good NBA player. KPJ was out. Kyle Kuzma is doing whatever Kyle Kuzma is doing.
Sure.
They're literally like, I don't know. They're a bottom 4 situation in the NBA.
And they're a bottom 4 situation right now, Swiper, and I'm not going to argue that point. What I am going to argue, though, is what the very thing that you're leaving out. What they started out doing this year, again, Mars, you can correct me if I'm This is what I'm saying. This is you said bottom 4, and it's just not true.
Yeah, I think because of the cap, the front office, Horst got an extension this summer too, and like people didn't know why he got an extension as well.
And you have one of the 5 best players on the planet.
No, I think
that's number 1.
I'm saying that, like, including that also makes it even worse. The energy around the organization right now, it's like
my issue with you. My issue with you is you're under the impression when they started. If I'm not mistaken, Mars, I mean, you can fact check me on this because you fact check me a lot. It was either 8-5 or 9-5. Is how they. It was either 8-5 or 9-5 when they started. Swiper is under the impression. Swiper is under the impression that teams don't get better throughout the course of the year. It's just this team is bad. Giannis is the only anchor on this team. Giannis is the guy who's making this team good. Which you know what, Swiper? To be honest with you, I don't have an issue with that. But what I do have an issue with is the reason why they're bad is because Giannis did go out of the lineup. I think that they would have
great with Giannis either.
Once again, I think that they would have improved as the season went on. Am I saying that they would have been a championship?
No, but talent. Chill. The NBA works the other way. Talent proves over the course of the long haul.
All of the stuff that they had.
Chill. That's not how the NBA works. When Portland was the number 1 seed at the start of the season in 22-23. They had a top 10 defense in the league. Talent appreciates over time in the NBA. It wins out over a long form. So the reason why the Western and Eastern Conference will look the way it looks at the end of the year, because talent always rises to the top. When you don't have talent and you start off with new defensive principles, new offensive scheme, get out to a really hot start, then over time,
KPJ's hurt now, so.
And he's exactly Mars. APJ is hurt.
Guns and butter, baby. Right? Guns and butter.
Giannis went out of the lineup. KPJ was already hurt from the beginning. Of the season.
Chill, they have Doc Rivers, dude. They also have a bad coaching situation. Okay. No, chill.
I don't like. I think it's
Doc has been horrible.
No, but hold on, wait. It's gotten conflicted in my opinion as far as like what was the actual argument to begin with. Because I was with Chill as far as the Bucks being able to be a decent team with Giannis playing, but like that's all they were saying. Like that's all we've been saying.
No, but I guess we were on different sides because I said the Raptors would be better before the season started.
We were saying like the Bucks were like this real playoff team. Like nobody was saying that. They started the season doing well. The reason why we thought they would do well was happening, and then obviously they are more reliant on their superstar player than practically damn near every other team in the NBA. And then their star player got hurt for an extended period of time, and that was the season. To be honest,
but real talk, I think y'all did get hung up on like I think certain things that are not actually foundational pieces for what wins NBA games over the course of time. So remember, we went into the year. I said the Spurs would be better, and I said that the Raptors would be better.
Why would the Spurs be better, Swiper? What's going on with the Spurs?
We had this argument already. I don't want to rehash it. It was
but is it a talent issue or
it matters that you have an actual scheme and something you can rely on. The Spurs are always going to be an elite defense with Wemby. The Raptors were always going to be an elite defense because of the way that they play together. And on top of that, they have 10 players on the roster, that can go at any time. The Bucks don't have an elite offense. They don't have an elite defense. And on top of that, they don't have a 10 that you can trust. And they also have a very mid to bad coaching situation in Doc Rivers, who looks like he's coaching in 2017 now. Like I'm saying, this is not the first time that Doc has let go or lost a locker room. In the last 4 years, we've already seen this happen. So I'm saying that, like, going into the year, I explained this, why this would happen for the Bucks. I think the issue is expecting Giannis to, but even when they have Giannis on the floor, real talk, respect to Giannis, they're also just not. They're not super dominant when he's on the floor either. Like, but at some point, it also is like
that we're going to be super dominant.
No, but I'm saying, but even the Giannis minutes aren't as good as they would need to be. I think for them to be mediocre. I'm saying they're worse than mediocre.
I mean, like, we're looking at that now, but there was a point in time to where even you were bringing it up, like they were like, because just in your shit on Lucas segment that just got out, shout out to you, and I wasn't here, but. You were like,
so you couldn't join in on the shitting.
No, I would have shit on Jokic. But what I'm saying is, even you in that argument said, even the Bucks are plus 5.5 with Giannis, and the Lakers are just like +2. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, Giannis was winning games. Giannis was playing very well. Giannis was playing like damn near arguably the best player in the world for the start of the season, and then he got hurt. Why are you shaking your head as if Giannis wasn't averaging?
Well, I disagree with you.
And he was out. And
that
threw a monkey wrench in everything.
No, that's just of course, but I just think that there are two other players that have been playing better all year. But I'm not here to argue that. I think Giannis just at the
beginning of the season, there were no players playing better than Giannis.
I disagree, but I'm saying that's irrelevant to this conversation. I would like Giannis to be in a situation where we no longer have to have these conversations anymore. Is my whole point. Because what I'm saying is he's 31 now. And we're about to go into a brand new playoffs. Hey, no Giannis. No Giannis past the first round again. And it's just like he hasn't been in a competitive series since 2022 versus the Celtics. That's crazy.
A lot of that has to do with his body failing him. It's not just
it's not about Giannis. I'm not blaming him. It's the team. That team sucks and has sucked.
But even if he is on a better team, his body is still failing him. And they're going to need him. So if he gets to the second round and they end up getting bounced in the second round, his body is failing him. So
that's true, but I think that speaks to they need to put a better infrastructure around him. If you know that he's getting older and his health is going like this, and it's not like he's doing anything. It's just like he's an uber explosive athlete. Mars, with the super uber nerd stats brought up the fact that's just like 13.5 inches between his foot and his calf, and so there's this Achilles all-time long Achilles that he has and all that. We brought this up. Giannis is a freak of nature. His Achilles, the depth between his foot and his calf is like best on record, which is why he's a crazy athlete. What I'm saying is, Chill, I get that. The problem is Giannis isn't good enough anymore to just get it. Just go out there, go do it, Giannis. Get us to the playoffs.
Yes,
Giannis is like, no, I can't do that.
It's just that he physically it's been really taxing on him. That's the problem. And when you put a group around him, who, by the way, if Giannis had not gotten hurt, I think that this group would have improved, because I can't see myself playing with a guy, even if I'm not uber talented, but I can't see myself playing with a guy like Giannis and not getting better throughout the course of the season. I'm just going to stay the same player that
Giannis
and this team. If Giannis being healthy, I cannot see this group as a group as talent deficient as you say that they are. Once again,
why, Chill? They don't have a point guard. They don't have a point guard.
They do.
Chill, they have this KPJ thing.
They have 2 point guards, right? They have 2 point guards.
Ryan Rollins. What is Ryan Rollins in the last 2 months?
He was playing really well, by the way, when Giannis was in the lineup. Before Giannis got hurt, he was playing really well. And there's no reason for me to think that the way he was playing. There was no reason for me to think that the way he was playing before Giannis got hurt, if Giannis stays in the lineup, that reads would get better. Shot selection would get better. And he would get better.
Rivers?
Okay, let's take Doc Rivers off the table for a second, right? Let's just take Doc Rivers off the table for a second. And what I want to do is I want to look at what he is doing with Giannis, his ability to read defense, his ability to understand defense, his ability to score, his ability on defense to understand how to get around pick and rolls. Okay, now bring in Doc Rivers, right? Now bring in Doc Rivers, who also played point guard in the NBA, and showing him this stuff. And add in KPJ and add in the rest of that group with Giannis staying healthy. There's no reason for me to think, even though they jumped out the gate the way that they did, there's no reason for me to think that they couldn't have gotten better. I ain't saying that they're a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. I'm not saying that they're going to make a playoff run. What I am saying is that this team would not have been the same team in November that they would have been in February had Giannis been able to stay healthy.
I'm asking you. I think the difference with you and your prognosis, I'm saying over the course of recent NBA history, teams that are talent deficient tend to get worse as the year gets on. because you cannot substantiate, okay, we got new scheme, new system, but at the end of the day, you got to have players that can execute these things at a high level over the course of an 82-game sample size. So that's why, for instance, the Nuggets can beat the Bucks in back-to-back opportunities without Jokic, without Murray, because the infrastructure, like there's an infrastructure there, and there's a culture that exists. And I think the same thing with OKC. Shea is at the heart of that. When you have these elite teams, there's even without their best player, there's a certain DNA and I think schematic advantage they have that no matter the situation, they can at least be competitive. What I'm saying is the Bucks
which they were
competitive.
Which they were.
Yes, in the first 10 games of the year, I agree with you.
They were.
10 games.
Right, yes, they were. But I think the divide between you and me is you bring up the Denver Nuggets, who have gotten significantly better with their roster in October, right? So now where we are, we're in February. Are the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm sorry. Are the Denver Nuggets the same group as they were? Is Jones the same player in October that he is in February? No, he is not.
They don't have a Spencer Jones. They don't have any of these players. They don't have a Spencer Jones on the roster.
Spencer Jones?
No, because I think what you're disconnecting is David Adelman. Yes,
Jones?
Mark Dagnall.
Let me guess, they don't got a Julian Stratton too.
When you put in elite coaches that I think can really find out what their roster is and get the most out of young players.
Ron, who is that Spencer Jones?
Okay, Spencer.
So you just wanted to yell? Like what?
Wait a minute.
Who's their Tim Hardaway Jr.? Who's their Cason Wallace? Who's their Alice Caruso?
That's not the point.
Who's their Lou Dort? No. I'm asking. Tell me who their player is that is reflective of these players.
Okay, it's not about
AJ Green.
It's not about them being reflective of their players because the talent level in
Denver.
Denver,
Isaiah Joe for sure. That can be that.
No.
Who's the 12th man, mind you?
Here's my problem. My problem, Fiper, is that what you're doing is you're comparing talent in Milwaukee
and coaching
talent. You're right, and those two things are not the same. But that doesn't mean that
both. They don't have either one of them.
But that doesn't mean that these guys aren't going to get better. That doesn't mean that, right? Do you think that Milwaukee's talent is less than Charlotte's talent?
It's less than Toronto, like I told you it was.
That team is worse than Charlotte.
Yeah, have you? Chill,
Charlotte don't employ Giannis Antetokounmpo, but Charlotte's team is better than the Bucks.
Pretty confident they beat Charlotte without Giannis in the lineup this season. They did do that.
Maybe. Cool. Congratulations. I just watched
the point the point that I'm making. Toronto is a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference.
I just watched Phoenix beat OKC.
Okay,
I watched Portland beat OKC.
Playoff team, possible playoff team. But the point that I'm
teams beat teams. Chill. That's the point.
Yes,
teams beat teams.
Right. But
Charlotte Hornets
just beat teams.
Charlotte Hornets beat OKC. Wait. Chill. The Charlotte Hornets beat OKC
by 125
with Shea on the floor.
The point that I was making with bringing up Charlotte is that Charlotte has gotten better throughout the course of the season, even though they are deficient in talent.
They got healthy.
They're not the best. Right.
Chill. Hold on. Chill. Wait. Chill. No. Hold on. Chill.
They got healthy.
Hold on. Mark. This is the Bucks roster. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and Kevin Porter Jr. So the players that make the most money on the roster, those are the. Hold on. Let me finish. Chill. Stop. Chill.
Is that what you think?
What?
You think?
I don't know who you said better than Kuzma. Yes, whoever you said better than Kuzma. I don't know who you said, but they're better than Kuzma. I don't know who you said, but they're better than Kuzma.
If Kuzma was on Denver, do you think that
he would be the 9th man on the roster? 9th.
So who did he ask if they were better than Kuzma? Who did he ask?
Spencer Jones.
Oh, give me Spencer Jones. Yeah, give me Spencer Jones.
9th? No, chill. Hold on. Wait. Ron, let me read this to you. Come on. I want to hear what he has to say. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and Kevin Porter. That's their top 5 highest paid players. Okay, and then you got Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent, Gary Harris, Torian Prince, Jericho Sims, AJ Green, and Amir Coffey, and then Cole Anthony, and then Thanasis and Andre Jackson, their former first-round pick, who doesn't play, and they got another Antetokounmpo on the bench. Tell me, when you read through that roster, what roster? Matter of fact, you said Charlotte Mars. Is that a better roster than Charlotte?
That's not better than Charlotte.
Is that a better roster than the Kings? Do they got a better roster than the Kings?
Yes, they do.
No,
yes, they do.
They still don't. They still don't.
They really might not, though. They really might not, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen to y'all dudes tell me that. From a talent standpoint.
Did you hear those names, Ron?
Serious?
I do think that
y'all just trying to be funny at this point.
Kyle of Kuzma to DeMar DeRozan. We're comparing Miles of Turners to Zach LaVine.
Worst talent in the league. So they got so it sounds to me like the Milwaukee Bucks got the worst talent in the league.
No,
they got
some of it, yeah, some of it, 100%.
We've been trying to tell you this since November.
I said this before the season started. Before the year started, I said this to you.
I've been saying it.
I told you. Chill.
I told you the Spurs were better before the year started.
I told you that Giannis Antetokounmpo was going to literally off himself by trying to carry this bum-ass squad. I told you he was going to perish.
They did say this.
I told you he was going to expire.
We told them the Raptors were better, and chill. You almost had an anemic reaction, like a physical reaction to that conversation. The Raptors are clearly better than them, and matter of fact, they're better coached than the Bucks too. So, like, they have everything. The only thing they're missing is Giannis. The only thing they're missing is Giannis. That's literally the only thing.
To be fair, it's a big thing to me.
So with all of this being said, why aren't they at the bottom of the league? From a talent,
because Giannis plays for them. And
Giannis.
This is not rocket science.
So Giannis plays. But with Giannis playing for them, Giannis is about to miss a grand total of 4 to 6 weeks. So he's about to miss 2 months. And when are the Milwaukee Bucks going to go to the bottom of the East?
Wait, hold on, chill. Behind them are the Charlotte Hornets, who have been one of the best teams in the league. They're 5-5 in the last 10. Wait, Mars, hold on, because he's asking the question, why aren't they at the bottom of the league? You know why? You know who's at the bottom of the Eastern Conference? The Charlotte Hornets, with all the injuries they were dealing with. The Brooklyn Nets, with just Michael Porter Jr. and 5 first-round picks. The Indiana Pacers, without half their roster and their best player. And then the Washington Wizards. Those are the teams that are below them.
I'm 99% certain the Hornets are going to pass Milwaukee.
They are.
I don't think Washington are going to win 8 games the rest of the year. So, no, the Bucks aren't going to go down to the bottom of the East because I don't think Washington are capable of winning the 18 games the Bucks have right now. So, they're safe from that. But Giannis being employed by the Bucks is the only reason they're not with the Nets, Wizards, and Pacers.
Which is the only reason why I thought
that's the only reason they're not with them.
And Mars, to your point, he's the only reason why I thought that they would be a viable playoff team. That's the only reason. And I thought that those guys on the roster.
Then why did you try to argue their talent level versus these other teams?
This is my point, Mars. My point is I didn't think that they were supremely talented. What I did think that they did have talent. Having Giannis on the crew, they would be throughout the course of the year getting better. That's what I thought. I never once came up here and said this team is going to win the NBA championship. This team could go deep into the playoffs. Never said that.
We're not arguing that either.
No. This is what you're doing, Swiper. You're telling me that this team in terms of talent are deficient. I'm in the minority because I already know it. But it's not a coincidence that KPJ, every crew that he gets on, he's always playing, and he's playing well, always. I thought that Cole Anthony would be better. He has not been. No, he has not been. He was better when the season started, but then when Giannis went out,
did have a really good stretch at the beginning of the season.
Yes, he was actually really good until Giannis went out. When Giannis went out, all the deficiencies that these guys have got highlighted because they had to do more stuff than they needed to in order for them to be competitive and win games. They were awful. Absolutely awful.
Kevin Porter Jr. with maximum leeway, 34 minutes a game this year, 17, 7 assists, 44, 36, 84 splits. Okay.
That's
you know what?
Player.
You're right. If there's no pressure, nobody in front of him, you're the best guard. You got to go play. Yeah, give you a lot of minutes. This is what he can do. I 100% agree with you, Chill. He can go get it. But here's the problem. Is KPJ, we had this discussion real talk. I don't know if you were here. And I told him, they're at least 25 point guards better than KPJ. Chill argued that there were not before the season started.
You said 20.
And no, actually, I've heard you make that argument. I've heard you make that argument before. That to me, whatever number it is, still doesn't take away from the quality of player that KPJ is.
Oh, I'm good.
You're naming point guards as if point guard isn't.
Guess what? If he played for the Lakers, he wouldn't get playing time. I can tell you that. If he played for the Lakers, he wouldn't get playing time.
Mind.
He wouldn't get playing time. I guarantee you. KPJ's out of it. I guarantee you, come playoff time, he will be out of the rotation. Guarantee. Guaranteed.
No.
He will be out of the rotation in playoff time.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Guarantee
Kevin
you.
Porter Jr. plays 25 plus minutes. He's their best perimeter defender. He would be their best perimeter defender.
The Clippers?
Finished the year on the Clippers.
He would be their best perimeter defender. On that alone, he would get played.
Did he play? He what? He said, what did you say? What did you say, Ron?
He would be their best perimeter defender. On that alone, he would get playing time.
I'm
not even talking about on the offensive end.
Stop.
Well, Marcus,
give you Austin Reeves.
Give me Reeves. Give me Reeves. I'd much rather have Reeves. Much rather at the defender.
Now you're tripping. Now you're tripping. Now you're tripping.
No, I'm tripping. Who you gonna play next to? Luka, Reeves, Braun, and we'll do what?
I don't think KPJ's the hill to die on though. Who the
no, it's not. I don't even know if you're dying on this hill like KPJ is trash.
KPJ is cool. He's probably not a starting point guard, and that's probably a problem with the Bucks. But he's cool. Ryan Rollins is cool. Giannis is Giannis. Miles Turner is cool.
Miles Turner's
Once you get beyond that, then the rest of the roster just like.
Miles Turner's a good player. Just bad situation.
But like they have some cool players, but like they're 15 and 15 when Giannis plays, so they're 500. They're cool. That's what they're cool.
That's what him being.
When Giannis doesn't play, they're 3 and 11. They play at a 17 win pace when Giannis isn't playing. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. Yeah. Like the team just sucks. It really is. The team just
and a lot of that and a lot of that has to do with Giannis being in and out of the lineup because everything goes through Giannis. Everything that they're doing goes through Giannis. If Giannis was in the lineup, like we talked about from the beginning, I think things would be different. And if Giannis wasn't in the lineup from the beginning, you would not be hearing me having this conversation about the Milwaukee Bucks. No.
Chill. I just don't get how you come up here and you're so pro trade Embiid, trade this, get off of Embiid. It is literally the same thing with Giannis, but even worse. It's even worse. Like I understand Giannis is well at this point, he's been just as unhealthy as Embiid, if not worse. He's been in and out the lineup, and that's been the case for the last 2 or 3 years.
If not
and
worse,
on top of that,
crazy.
And on top of that,
we'll ignore that part.
Well, I mean, he breaks down when it matters most. Hasn't played in the last 2 playoffs. He's been in and out the lineup this year. He's going to be out for.
He played last year, so that's not true.
How long did he play for?
He played the whole series.
He played the whole series against
games.
He is right.
Yeah, he didn't play the year before at all.
Yeah,
it was the year before that too, though, right?
Yeah,
he got hurt the year before
and
too.
He didn't play the year before, and then he got hurt in 23. He also got hurt in 21, but they won the title. He also got hurt in 2020.
He's been hurting.
Giannis has been hurt in like 5 of his 6 postseason runs as an MVP level player.
Yeah.
And just on top of that, like this team doesn't have close to the talent that Philly has. Like Milwaukee is in a terrible situation, and they're trying to hold on to their only hope for the future in Giannis. And it's just like, for what?
You guys, they're listening to Mars right now.
Wait a minute, Swiper, because again, Swiper's up here with the you go girl snaps. So okay, so
doing this shit.
Really quickly, Ron, are you equating what's going on in Milwaukee to what's going on in Philadelphia? Because again, when I talk about the Philadelphia 76ers moving on from Joel Embiid, I'm doing that. Why? Because I have 2 centerpieces that I can build around. I'm holding on to Giannis Antetokounmpo because I don't have anything else, Ron. That's why. I'm not moving off of Joel Embiid.
You have all the value.
I'm not moving off.
So wait, Ron. You can't pay your rent. Your car notes due. You can't pay your bills. You got a gold brick sitting in the middle of your house. All you got to do is sell it, and you can pay off all your debts for the next 10 years. You got a gold brick in the house. You can't afford food. You know how much a brick is worth right now, chill, in American dollar? Not a lot. Not as much as it used to be. But you got a gold brick sitting in your house. And you telling me, real talk, you just want to keep looking at it? Real talk, you better.
You want to be able to say you got that gold?
I'm going to the finest jewelry store I can find. I'm getting me $100 million, and I'm living good. I'm living good. U.S. government, how much you need this for?
Ain't no brick. All right, it ain't no brick. You over there sitting on Giannis in a big bag of mid for what? To sell tickets? You trade.
They know how to go to them games.
Hey, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, you trade Giannis to Atlanta. You get the Pelicans pick and you get Atlanta's pick.
Who are you?
Let's say you draft what?
You trade Giannis to Atlanta. Who are the players
that I'm saying? Like let's just say, for instance, they would have did Trey and whatever, but don't get caught up on the Trey Young thing. My thing is, let's say you get a top 3 pick in the draft or 2 lottery picks, and you come off with AJ, you come off with Cam, you come off with, I don't know, Darren Peterson. Don't you think when they get to that all NBA player level in a couple years, you're not going to resell tickets again? And on top of that, in the meantime, I grab some more picks. And on top of that, in the meantime, we're a bad team. So now we start. Start getting more picks.
But Ron, with this logic, with
the rebuilding logic,
do they have their pick? Does Milwaukee have their pick?
It's a swap. It's a swap.
And so
they're bad with Giannis.
Pelicans.
And just so
they're bad with Giannis. So in their mind, if they have their pick, I don't know.
So they're getting a lottery pick either way in Mars, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I would just bottom out and then hope that the Pelicans and Bucks picks are 1 and 2. So like we at least get the second pick. Yeah, at least get the second pick. And be like, we got something. That's probably what I would do if I was the Bucks.
Chill. What would Bill Belichick do right now? Remember his old rule for Bill Belichick? Chill with New England.
He actually got
trade him a year too early.
He got that from Bill Walsh, actually.
Yeah.
Trade him
a year. Yeah, trade him a year or 2 early instead of a year too late. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's just time.
I need to do a Jokic before he walked.
I don't know if you know this, Wiper, but the Bucks have better. The Bucks got better attendance this year than Minnesota, the Knicks, Philly.
I don't believe that.
Orlando.
Those are fugazi numbers.
Okay, all right. So exactly, you're right.
Minnesota got a lively crowd, man. They're there.
Okay.
I think you're loyal to your takes. You're loyal to people too, obviously. But I'm saying you're loyal to your takes. And your loyalty to your old takes, like you will let that rock.
If I'm wrong about something, I will 100% say, "Yo, I was wrong."
No.
Are you willing to admit Kyle Kuzma sucks?
I'm willing to admit that Kyle Kuzma is not very good. Yes, I am.
Okay. So, see, he's not. There we go.
Yes, I am.
There you go.
I do think I'm willing to admit that Kyle Kuzma is not very good. Yes.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. With a check, throw smoke, and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.